I'm Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Danielle.
And we're coming to you today because we are concerned about the pressures that our girls, our sons and our daughters are facing. And those pressures are everyday and they are constant. They're worrying about whether they're as sexy as their peers on Instagram. Are they getting enough likes? Are their grades good enough to get into a top tier college? And should they drink at this party? And our goal as parents is helping our daughters and our sons to make empowered choices when they face these kinds of pressures.
So we have an amazing guest today. Hello, Brooke.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So Brooke Raney is amazing. She's an educator and she is the founder and director of a girls leadership camp in New Hampshire. I love the work that you're doing. You're amazing. She's really lifting girls up. And she also has something very exciting. She just started a new nonprofit called Generation Change, which is funding the mission. So welcome, Brooke. We can't wait to hear.
Thank you. I'm so excited and so impressed by all that you two are doing in your mission as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I guess, Brooke, the first thing is, can you tell us just a little bit about your background and why you're doing this work?
Absolutely. So I set out, thought I was going to be an Olympic hockey player or a Broadway superstar, something big. I mean, it's still in the cards. It can still happen. It's not too late.
Yeah.
But in pursuing both of those dreams, I learned a lot about competition. I learned a lot about collaboration. And I had an incredible group of trusted adults around me at all times. Really grew up with wonderful people willing to have tough conversations and guide me at every step of the way. And I ended up at a grad program at NYU in educational theater. And it was at the same time that the Dove campaign was happening. They were like, like 30 women in their underwear up on billboards looking just like me. And I was like, that's, they got it going on. I was also nannying and working at a local elementary school and just seeing for the first time as the adult, the other side, just how difficult it is to raise strong, empowered young people and especially young women. And so to see these billboards and then to see the struggles of young girls and then be in this theater program where we were taught activities and educational exercises that were on your feet. And it flipped my thinking about education, totally changed everything I thought. And I just built curriculum and built curriculum and built curriculum. And really that's sort of what became the Girls Leadership Camp. And I even hire my professor, Christina Marine, who was my amazing advisor at NYU, and she comes to camp and runs her programming, and she's incredible. And so we just took that curriculum and packed it together in a week, and it's grown from 11 girls to 80 girls with a wait list. And the things we hear from parents and the things we hear from girls are amazing.
Brooke, when I started this, I said that our goal as parents is to empower our kids. And you have a really great way of digging in with kids and helping them to understand about their culture and the message it's sending them through your surround sound. Maybe you can explain that to parents.
Yeah, I think I watch kids, right? I was a dean of students and a camp director, and I observe and I watch, and I see the earbuds that, we're talking about, the earbuds in the ears. And, I see 100 more earbuds around their head. I see speakers and I see these messages just pummeling kids, whether it's their Instagram feed, like you mentioned, or it's their college counselor or grandparents or parents or coaches. I mean, they're just getting so many, and then the peers, right? The peers are at least 50% of the surround sound. And the messages are crazy, coming at them so fast and so hard on what they're supposed to do. And I think I picture myself like, pushing the speakers apart and whispering like, you're great and you're going to do awesome and you're brave and you're courageous and you're awesome. I do it with babies especially. I find myself like everyone else, you pick up a little girl baby and you're like, you're so cute and you're so pretty and you're dressed. And then I'm like, for every like beauty comment, then I'm like, smack myself. I'm like, okay, I have to do 5 other, like, you're courageous. You can be anything. You're going to be the president of the United States. I try to make up for all that I do, but I do it, someone who's so conscious.
It's so subconscious.
I'm stuck in it. I'm stuck. Oh, your dress is so, no, why the dress?
Oh, how's that? You like that boy in school? Is he cute? Why is that my first
question? Why do we do that? So now I'm like, how high can you jump? How fast can you run? Do you like to sing? Like I try to, active verbs. What am I going to ask them about their passions, what they enjoy doing? Anyway, so the surround sound is just this pummeling of messages. And it leads to what I also call supposed to syndrome, where especially our girls are feeling like they're supposed to X, Y, or Z. So if I, as a dean of students, was meeting with a girl, it's like, tell me about that choice. Tell me about that decision. Well, I thought I was supposed to hook up with that boy. I thought I was supposed to try vaping. I thought I was supposed to whatever it is.
Right.
And so I worry, and I try to battle that surround sound and those messages. And at camp, we take technology away, we take the parents away, and we create our own surround sound. And we're very intentional about the messages that are being pumped to those girls for at least that 1 week of their year every year.
Gosh, just having a week off from your phone is a gift. Oh,
So in the first couple of days, they'll say, "Oh my gosh, I miss my phone so much, I need my phone." By the end of the week, they're like, "I don't want it back." It's like a ball and chain. Like they get it.
they do.
Yeah. One of our most difficult tasks as parents is modeling what we're asking for. And if they see us on our phones at the kitchen table, or, whenever there's a dull moment, we go to our phone, we can't blame our kids for going to theirs. Absolutely. So we've got to do just what your daughter is doing, which is detach, unplug. Supposed to syndrome, surround sound, how do we combat it? And I think it's in trusted adults, and sometimes it's not the parents, right? Mm-hmm. So we as parents have to be sure we're getting out of the way and providing opportunity, whether it's the band director or a softball coach or whoever, somebody at church, that we've got to partner with other adults in our child's life to be sounding boards for them. And I think it's so important that young people are encouraged to take that surround sound and sit with a trusted adult and process it. Here's what I'm hearing from my friends. Here's what my Instagram feed is saying. Here's what the Kardashians are telling me I need to look like and need to do. And I've lost sight of what I believe, what my values are, what my internal voice is saying. And that's when boundaries get blurred. That's when we don't know how to push back because we're not sure what's okay, what's right, what's wrong, how we feel about things anymore, because we're hearing what everybody else feels about how we should feel, or what we feel about how everyone should feel. And it's totally confusing. And it happens to us as adults. Like, we shouldn't be happening to young people. It is absolutely happening to us as adults as well, and what we're supposed to do.
Well, so maybe you can talk about that. Like, what do you say to kids about those boundaries? Like, how do you get them to start to recognize the boundaries?
So I talk about whoa friends. I talk about guts, and gusto. And it's been the best way in for me to talk, especially middle school, early high school, before there's bystander training or intervention training, that it's a whoa friend. So the first form of leadership, I think, is just saying whoa. So you get that feeling in your gut, the hair on your neck stands up, you get sweaty palms, your breath, like something's happening around you, or someone has said something to you, or you witnessed something. And internally we go, whoa, but we don't always externally say that. So listening to those good peers, like trusted peers, trusted adults who are willing to say, whoa, when something's not right. So I tell a silly story, but I decided to stop brushing my teeth in 4th grade. I was just, and it did not matter what my mother or my father said. Like, by that time I was over my parents. Who else in the world is going to, tell me and teach me and show me the boundaries? And stop brushing my teeth. I don't know how many days, weeks, months, I don't know. But I remember being in school, and my mom, like, before school was like, listen, you have to brush your, this is disgusting. But I didn't care. Her opinion didn't matter. Got to school, I'm doing a project. My friend goes, whoa, in my breath. And that's all it took. That is all it took. One whoa. And I was like, I'm going to go home and brush my teeth. So it's those people who, like, something happens, so even if all they can get out is whoa, it can be a difference maker and help people establish their boundaries.
So that's really, so I think that at such a young level for kids at such a young age for kids to learn that, and to start listening to the whoa, I guess, because a lot of our my concern, I should say, is once kids get older, so they build that up. Do you have, because you were in high school talking to kids in high school and dealt with kids in college, you must have also the kind of thing that we're now not talking about bad breath. We're talking about sexual engagement with boys or whatever, the person that you like, boy, girl, whatever it happens to be. How do you check in with yourself if you feel the pressure from a boy? Because I think, we all understand that, or a girl, that someone of the opposite sex, when they want something from you sexually, they're going to manipulate you. And, not always, but if you get manipulated in that situation, how do you check in and listen and stand up for yourself?
I think it has so much to do with peers, because I've seen, groups of girls who get together and they're like, that's just not what we do. And so the strength in number. So even when they're alone individually, in an environment where there could be sexual activity and they might be pressured to do something, they've got this backing of peers that are like, that's just not what we do. And they've sort of decided that since they were in 5th grade, that like, and then there's the other pack who their confidence is tied up, their self-esteem is tied up in what they do sexually, that is what they want to come back to the lunch table and brag about and talk about. And they want to post about it on their Finstas and everything else. And you see these 2 packs of girls, walk through high school. And that all started in 4th grade. That started early. And that's truly why we started the program where we did with middle schoolers. And I think it's why high schoolers keep coming back to intern at the middle school program, to be reminded of the voice they built for themselves, that internal voice, their inner compass and their strength was built here in middle school, and they're carrying it through. It gets tested a lot more. It gets tested with bigger risks and bigger decisions. And so they have to be even stronger.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because it seems like what you're saying is that the girls who are like, oh, what I want to brag about at the table is what I've done sexually with boys. And that can be very misleading to boys, because they see it as like, oh, this girl wants to do these things. But I think maybe what you're seeing is underneath that desire to be desired is a lack of feeling good about themselves or empowered within themselves, that they alone are enough. They don't have to be, fooling around with boys and doing things that just to get the attention and the value.
Anytime sex is aligned with the opposite of pleasure, but with reputation and a good story and something to tell my friends, like, we're in trouble, right? That's as soon as it's not about pleasure.
That is so good. So whenever
that's a difficult conversation as an educator to navigate, and I think it's the conversation that parents need to be having with their children.
Okay, we need
Can
to
you say that again?
again.
Can you say that again? Because I've never heard anyone say that.
That's a diamond right there.
Well, I've sat in too many dorm rooms, eating pizza in the basement and hearing about girls' sexual resumes, like that. I just imagine a scroll and it's just like, and I'm thinking, you've done what? With who? What? Wait, what? Like, I couldn't believe. And then asking the question, like, well, did you like it? Was it pleasurable for you? And then like kind of giving me this cockeyed, like, was it supposed to be? And that is my fear and worry all the time, is that this sexual activity and consenting to these things is not driven by pleasure or my desire or my, like, what I want, or connection, right? Or intimacy. It is driven by what I can tell my friends to stay in the mix and stay relevant at school.
And society is telling the girls your relevance is your sexiness, not even your appearance.
Yes.
And it's not about their sexual pleasure.
And that's what we're combating. And that's back to me whispering to a baby, you're cute, you're pretty, you're dressed. Like, that's me telling her worth is her appearance. And then I combat that, even someone who's so conscious of this work and of the consequences of that kind of language with young girls, I still have to realign and adjust, because it is so like surround sound for us. It's
so embedded in our culture. I mean, even though now it's more porn, the objectification of women, girls, even boys. I mean, honestly, it's, just the objectification of people, not seeing them for who they truly are, but seeing them for what they look like on the outside or what they're doing. Your value is not in the fact that you're a great lacrosse player. Right. Your value is not in the fact that you are beautiful. Your value is in who you are and what you bring to the world.
Right. And so how do institutions, organizations, and parents, band together to rewrite what's important and help groups of friends rewrite it for themselves?
Thank you so much. Thank you for the work you do and your passion, and girls need you. Our girls need us.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm so glad that my daughter is still in middle school, so she can
come
to do
got to get her on the list.
I know.
I am sending you all the energy and empowerment you need to keep going. Good work.
You too.
Really important work. Really important.
Thank you.
I want to go with you when you travel around the world. I want to see what you do in these camps.
Peru is up next. Peru. Girl.
That's a way to close it. The dogs.
I know. Larry's like not.
What a life.
Larry? Is his name Larry?
Larry Bird. That's Larry Bird. Yep.
Larry Bird.
That's so funny.
Oh my God. Well, Brooke, thank
Awesome.
you so much.
Thank you, Brooke. It was awesome talking to you.